Mafia video of the week. I knew I was going to go here with that story. I knew it. I knew it. So I'm going to give you the most. I don't even know how to describe this. Oh, wait a minute. Susan wants to play devil's advocate. I'm playing devil's advocate because I was married to a narcissist for 20 years and had 2 kids with him.
Oh boy.
Thanks to Foxy for teaching me that if I'm not getting something out of this relationship other than your happiness, what's a new saying that I heard? I'm not going to set myself on fire to keep you warm.
For real.
I love
Oh.
that statement. I love that statement. So yeah, this is the most bittersweet story I have ever heard. Not that I played on this show. I have ever heard myself, and it is very bittersweet. But we're gonna have a discussion at the end of the video. So here we go. My funeral, my way. By the way, there's a bunch of movement in the background, so everybody is neurodivergent. Just a heads up. Just it's a lot of movement in the background.
My health is slowly deteriorating, and I'm navigating the last few days of my life. I don't feel the details are super relevant to the issue at hand, but for those who are curious about my ultimate demise, I have cystic fibrosis, and after 2 rejected lung transplants, I've been told there isn't anything else they can do except keep me comfortable in my last few weeks. I've begun my preparations for my funeral and such, and while I was thinking it would be a breath of fresh air in this whirlwind of uncertainty, I could not have been more wrong. Now, on to my story. My parents are both strict Southern Baptists and want a very traditional funeral. This includes hymns to be sung during the memorial, a casket and graveside service, a viewing, countless prayers during the memorial, scripture to be read, etc. My issue with this is, well, everything. I am the complete opposite of my parents, not religious, curse like a sailor, drink like an Irish, you name it. Everything they are wanting and attempting to plan is not me as a person. I somehow made it to 25 and managed to meet the man of my dreams and marry him last year, and he is torn. He wants me to have it exactly as I want. He just doesn't want to have to deal with my parents after the fact while actively grieving. I have 2 siblings, one of whom is a clone of my parents and one who is a mixture of my parents and myself. I want my service to be one of full of laughter, funny stories and pictures, upbeat music, and cats. My husband and I are avid cat lovers, confetti, and other fun stuff. But more importantly, I want to be cremated and put in a cat-shaped urn. I told my husband I wanted my ashes to be handed out like party favors so my family and friends could take me with them because I love to travel, and he looked horrified. My parents are absolutely not on board and are essentially planning everything how they want, attempting to take me shopping for a casket, flowers, picking out hymns and verses, the whole deal. I'm obviously not very pleased. So I guess my question would be, WIBTA, if I took control of my own funeral and wrote a will to be followed exactly how I want it, I understand my parents are grieving and I've tried to compromise with a mixture of both my views and theirs, but they aren't having it. I never thought dying would be so stressful, and I just want to enjoy what time I have left without leaving a bomb of emotion and disappointment behind. Please, help. By the way, I would like to clarify the ashes as party favors thing. I wanted my closest friends and family to go home with a vial or something of the sort of my ashes. That way they could do with them as they please. Not everyone will get a piece of me, as strange as that sounds. I am writing down everything that I want and will be approaching my parents in order to find a compromise. Yes, funerals are for the living, and being able to remember that person for who they were is important. I'm not all of the things my parents wanted me to be, and I want them to understand this as they deal with my passing. I am willing to compromise, so wish me luck. I will attempt to keep up with everything, and as lame as this sounds, I'm off living my best life and trying to do something different every day, so I won't always have my phone. Tomorrow, we're traveling to the Everglades so I can watch my husband be terrified while on an airboat. It's gonna be awesome.
What? You get to do your funeral how you want to. Your last wishes are an incredibly sacred thing.
I don't know if my family is the only family that does this. We actually talk about this stuff. Sometimes we
No,
joking
we
about
talk about it too.
you do okay. Sometimes we joke about
Yeah.
it. Like it depends on what mood we in. Like we in a bad mood or something like that, or stuff like that. Well, look, just throw me in a box in the backyard, or just hey, just dig a hole and just throw me in it. Don't even get a casket. Like what's the point? But we talk about it, but I think we know each other so well. We know what it is that we will do or what they would want and what it is that they don't want. Um, I am not the. I can't see my. I don't want people sad around my funeral. I'm gone. Enjoy my memories. Not that I'm not here anymore.
That's gonna be very, very, very hard right after you go.
Oh,
Yep.
I know.
Asking people not to be sad, that's impossible.
Anna, trust me, that means more to me than anything else. It's a lot better to go, oh my God, he's dead, than he gone, buddy. Woo! I'm digging it. This K will
You
never
know, I
go.
went to. Well, no, I did go to a funeral like that. They got up. We glad he did. I'm like, did they just? Nah,
What?
they didn't say that. Tell you, you stick around people, you'll
Oh,
see a lot of stuff you ain't never seen. They was like, we glad. I'm like, okay, he must have been a terrible person.
Jeez. I did hear of a funeral. I didn't see it. I heard it from secondhand. I did hear of a funeral where it was the pastor and five people. And
mhm.
yes, the whole family and friends were alive. It wasn't that. I'm like, yikes. It is her funeral. That sounds flippant. I mean it literally.
No, I
Uh,
heard exactly how you said it.
I know what you're saying, Susan. It's not flippant. It is her funeral.
No. Yeah.
Um, I
And
don't know.
haven't
This is
they
just
like
sad. He can
if
have
this
what he wants. She can have.
yeah
She can have what
yeah
she wants for her funeral.
if the spouse is left if the remaining spouse it ain't up to them and not like the parents just didn't jumped in there like yep we gonna do no that
Because
ain't how.
there's always going to be a fight between. I heard this. Believe me, I don't want to bring this up, but it was funny because this is the only thing that popped in my head. I heard it from the Cosby Show, and it was, well, I'm her husband. Well, we're her parents, but I'm the husband. Well, here's the difference. We will always be her parents.
But that's
And I
not the
went,
way it should work. If the
ooh,
it's
that's
the
actually kind of true. They will
no,
always be the parents. You may not always be the,
when your child gets married, you as the parent
yeah,
need
But
I
to
you
know.
are
step
right now.
aside. You need to step aside Now, if they come to you and say, "Hey, I need help," or "I can't deal with this," okay. But they just took over like that spouse wasn't even there. They were like, "Oh, well, whatever. We're gonna just do what we want to do."
Yeah.
I'm currently researching natural funerals. It's now legal in New York.
What is a natural funeral?
Funeral.
That's wonderful, Mickey.
I don't know what a natural
A
funeral
Many,
is.
natural funeral. I don't know what that means. I don't know.
there's many different kinds, so we would have to wait for Mickey to say what she means.
All right, so let's get to the second video.
I want to
Get
be
your.
cremated.
I'm thinking about that too right now, honestly. But
But first, I
yeah,
want to be donated to science. I want my body to be able to help and maybe even further treatments or understand the way the brain, after a lifetime of illness, is affected. There's so much that can be told.